Iran. The best way is to understand the culture. I think everything the West is doing, and I'm very frank with you, I think that everything the West is doing is absolutely correct. There are reasons for concerns, particularly when you hear certain language which is, at times not civilized and threatening. Therefore, in essence, what the West is trying to do is good, but I think that the West is approaching the situation in traditional Western culture way. There is no account of the specificities of the deep-lying habits and culture within that nation. Or take China, for example. The criticism of democratic record of China it has become a cliche. But do things change? Chinese, there was a recent poll by the Western Institution of Chinese Population. More than 80% of Chinese support their government and support their way of life. Compared to the figures of the polls in the United States, less than 20% are supportive of the government here. And it is not that the government of China is orchestrating something. It was an independent poll, and Chinese were free to speak. It simply tells you about certain things which are being missed. And I think that with Iran, the West is missing one important point, the cultural element. And Iran is an ancient culture, and this is a very proud nation. And when you come to a proud nation with trying to subordinate it and try to put the situation with circumstances and preconditions, that is not the way to be able to achieve something. If you are a partner, then you have to be a partner. In other words, the efforts are valuable, the efforts are worth trying, but there should be due, very important account of these cultural elements and trying to understand the individuality and specificity of a certain nation. I think that this is exactly the situation with Iran. Change the parlance, change the rhetoric, change the attitudes of media. We understand that the media is free, but it is free to a point. Therefore, I think that from our perspective, from perspective of Kazakhstan, we want to see excellent relations between Iran and the West. It is troublesome to have a potential hotbed near us. We don't want to have another hotbed near us because that is ruining the region. That is preventing us to develop faster in a more meaningful way. Therefore, we want to see a meaningful dialogue, resultful dialogue. You can pass numerous resolutions, you can do many other things, but if something is not achieved, you have to think why result is not there, why we are not delivering. Then I think you have to arrive to some conclusions, and in my understanding, my personal understanding, that one important thing which is missing in the policy of the West is full account, full understanding, informed policy with due account of this cultural specific element. Yes, please.
What is your view on the problems between Russia and Georgia?
Another lie, you know. What I tell you, complete lies, you know. It's don't believe, and the books are there, right? They are complete lies. Don't read the word there. Just throw it to the basket. But there is a joke from Soviet days I like. There is a Communist Party boring meeting going on, not like ours, I hope. And the chairman of the meeting sits there, and of course it's boring, and people do not want to debate, etc. What to debate if everything is decided already by the Central Committee? So the chairman wants to create a semblance of a debate, and he arises one chap and says, Ivanov, why don't you debate? Why don't you take the floor and participate in the debate? Don't you have your opinion? And the chap stands up and says, "Yes, sir, I have my own opinion, but I don't agree with it." So, with regard to Georgia and Russia, I do have my opinion, but you heard the rest, right? Seriously, of course, it is a very disturbing situation. We take the territorial integrity as one of the fundamental principles of foreign policy, of international relations. That is a fact. It is not debated. Secondly, it is absolutely troublesome to try to resolve ethno-territorial relations, issues and problems, ethno-territorial, which are the most sensitive, the most delicate, in the brutal, forceful way. That is very unfortunate. And that has taken much of the ground for legal, civilized resolution of the situation. That is a reality. We are very much concerned with the situation there. You heard about our heavy investment in the region, right? Therefore, we were one among the first to offer the humanitarian assistance. We are supplying humanitarian assistance to the area of the conflict. Not to the Russians, not to the Georgians, to everyone who suffered. We believe that the fragile agreement which has been signed there should be strictly observed by all. If the word was given, stick to your word. That is a fundamental principle also. Next is that still, although it is very hard in this situation, I think it is important that efforts are done to try to find the legalistic way or to try to find the solutions within the legal framework so that there is legality to what is being taken. Legality can be provided through UN, through OSCE. There is a universal OSCE charter, Helsinki Charter, right? Helsinki Final Document it is called. So, and it speaks about the inviolability of the borders in modern Europe. That is a fundamental principle. There are universal human rights bodies like pacts on civil rights, on economic rights, etc. So there should be a body of legal framework within which to try to find and put these solutions. Therefore, so that they are binding, so that they are long-lasting, not one-time things. And finally, I think that the level of rhetoric and passion or emotion should be lowered. It is, if you listen to stories, on one side, Russia is as ugly almost as the German Nazis. It's terrible to compare. A country which suffered a lot, the greatest suffering from the German fascism was Russia. How one dares to compare that to that? It is beyond understanding. It is very insulting. And if someone believes that this will help finding the ways of resolving the situation, he is very naive at minimum. So the parlance, the rhetoric, and the emotions should be cooled down. And although it is very difficult, people have to sit down and try to talk calmly with reason. So this is what we try to do, and this is what we think about the situation. We are concerned that the situation continues to be presented in a biased way. When there is bias, you are not able to find a balanced decision. That is a problem. We want big leaders, good leaders, are they hot heads or cool heads, whatever. Media may tell different stories, but politicians should sit down and understand that it is too dangerous. Yes, it is a wake-up call to many. We understand this. Don't forget that we have the longest land border between who and who.